The 2026 FIFA World Cup group stage clash between Japan and Tunisia looked like a balanced contest before kickoff. But once the referee blew the opening whistle, it became clear that Japan had arrived with one objective: to dominate. From the very first minutes, the Japanese side played with confidence, speed, and incredible discipline. Every pass had purpose, every run created space, and every attack forced Tunisia to defend deeper inside their own half. Tunisia began the match with a compact defensive shape, hoping to frustrate Japan and hit on the counterattack. For a short period, that plan seemed to work. However, Japan's relentless pressing quickly disrupted Tunisia's rhythm. The midfield belonged almost entirely to the Japanese players, who recovered possession within seconds whenever they lost the ball. Their movement without possession made it difficult for Tunisia to build any meaningful attacks. As the pressure increased, Japan continued to switch the ball from one flank to the other, stretching Tunisia's defensive line. The pace of the game kept rising, and Tunisia struggled to keep up with Japan's quick combinations. The first breakthrough finally arrived after a well-worked team move that showcased Japan's technical quality and calm finishing. The stadium erupted as the Japanese supporters celebrated a deserved opening goal. Instead of slowing the tempo after taking the lead, Japan pushed even harder. Their confidence grew with every successful pass, while Tunisia looked increasingly uncomfortable under constant pressure. The African side attempted to respond, but Japan's organized defense closed every gap and denied them clear scoring opportunities. By the end of the first half, momentum had shifted completely in Japan's favor, leaving fans wondering whether Tunisia could produce a remarkable comeback or if Japan would continue their commanding performance after the break. The second half began with Tunisia knowing they had to take more risks. Sitting back was no longer an option, and they tried to push more players forward in search of an equalizer. For a few moments, they managed to move the ball into Japan's half with greater confidence. But every promising attack was stopped by Japan's disciplined defensive structure. The Japanese defenders stayed calm under pressure, won crucial duels, and immediately turned defense into attack. That ability to transition at lightning speed became the turning point of the match. Japan launched another fast move that caught Tunisia completely off guard. A perfectly timed run, a precise final pass, and an excellent finish doubled Japan's advantage. The goal changed the atmosphere inside the stadium. Japanese fans sensed that victory was now within reach, while Tunisia faced the difficult task of recovering from a 2-goal deficit against one of the tournament's most organized teams. Rather than protecting their lead, Japan continued attacking with confidence. Their passing remained sharp, their movement stayed fluid, and every player seemed fully committed to the team's game plan. Tunisia fought hard and showed determination, but frustration began to grow as misplaced passes and missed opportunities prevented them from building any real momentum. As the minutes passed, the physical and mental pressure became even more visible. Japan controlled possession, slowed the game whenever necessary, and accelerated instantly whenever space appeared. The difference in confidence between the two sides became impossible to ignore. Every successful Japanese attack looked capable of producing another goal, while Tunisia struggled to create even a single clear chance. By the final 20 minutes, the match had become a showcase of Japan's tactical discipline, teamwork, and relentless attacking football. With the match entering its final stages, Japan showed no signs of slowing down. Instead of simply protecting their lead, they continued to play with the same intensity that had defined their performance from the opening whistle. Every player remained focused, pressing high up the pitch and refusing to give Tunisia any time on the ball. Their confidence was growing with every passing minute, and it was clear they wanted to finish the game in unforgettable fashion. The pressure finally paid off once again. Another well-orchestrated attacking move sliced through Tunisia's defense, creating the space needed for a clinical finish. Japan celebrated their third goal with passion, while the Tunisian players could only look at each other in disappointment. The difference between the two teams was no longer just on the scoreboard. It was visible in every aspect of the game, from positioning and teamwork to decision-making under pressure. Even after extending the lead, Japan refused to lose concentration. Their substitutes entered the pitch with fresh energy, maintaining the same high tempo and commitment as the starting 11. This depth in the squad allowed Japan to keep controlling possession while continuing to threaten the Tunisian goal. Every attack carried purpose, and every player seemed determined to contribute to the team's impressive display. Late in the match, Japan added another goal to complete a dominant performance. The finish reflected everything they had done right throughout the game: quick passing, intelligent movement, and calm execution in front of goal. As the final whistle approached, the Japanese supporters celebrated not only a convincing victory, but also a performance that highlighted the team's growing confidence in the tournament. It was a night that demonstrated why Japan is considered one of the most disciplined and exciting sides in modern international football. When the final whistle echoed around the stadium, the scoreboard told the story of a truly one-sided contest. Japan had delivered a complete performance, combining tactical intelligence, relentless energy, and clinical finishing to secure an emphatic 4-0 victory over Tunisia. It was more than just 3 points. It was a statement to every team in the tournament that Japan was ready to compete with anyone. The statistics reflected Japan's dominance, but numbers alone could not capture the quality of their football. Their players moved as a single unit, pressing together, defending together, and attacking with remarkable precision. Every successful pass built confidence, while every defensive interception prevented Tunisia from gaining momentum. It was a performance based on discipline rather than individual brilliance alone. For Tunisia, the defeat was a painful lesson. The team showed determination and never stopped fighting, but they struggled to match Japan's pace and organization. Missed passes, limited possession, and a lack of clear chances made it difficult to challenge a side playing with such confidence. Despite the disappointment, the experience could become an important learning moment as they prepare for the remaining matches of the tournament. Meanwhile, Japan left the pitch with smiles, applause from their supporters, and growing belief inside the squad. Performances like this create momentum, and momentum is often one of the most valuable assets during a World Cup. The players celebrated together, but they also understood that the toughest challenges were still ahead. One outstanding victory can inspire a team, yet consistency is what turns contenders into champions. As fans left the stadium, one message became impossible to ignore. Japan had announced themselves as a serious force in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. This victory was not built on luck or a single moment of brilliance. It was the result of careful preparation, outstanding teamwork, and a clear tactical identity that allowed every player to understand their role on the pitch. From the goalkeeper's composure to the forward's clinical finishing, every part of the team performed at an exceptionally high level. For the coaching staff, this result was a reward for months of planning and hard work. Their strategy worked almost perfectly, with the players executing every instruction with discipline and confidence. The balance between attack and defense was impressive, proving that success in modern football depends as much on organization as it does on talent. Japan never looked rushed, never lost control, and rarely allowed Tunisia an opportunity to build momentum. The victory also sends a warning to the rest of the competition. Future opponents will now study Japan even more carefully, knowing they are capable of dominating matches against quality opposition. However, with greater success comes greater pressure. Every team will now be eager to test Japan's consistency as the tournament moves toward the knockout rounds. For Tunisia, the defeat is undoubtedly disappointing, but tournaments are rarely defined by a single match. Strong teams often respond to setbacks with determination, and this experience can become the motivation needed to improve in the games ahead. Football has always been a sport of resilience, and every challenge offers an opportunity to grow. One thing is certain: Japan's commanding 4-0 triumph will be remembered as one of the standout performances of the group stage. If they continue to play with the same confidence, discipline, and attacking quality, they could become one of the biggest stories of the 2026 FIFA World Cup.